Hey everybody, so we're here. I got a video for you guys. This one's basically gonna be me going over this small lot of toys that I got. Now I didn't pay anything for these. These are basically my toys from when I was a kid. My mom, been holding them for a long time, and she came to me and basically was like, "Here, you want these?" Um, because I'm basically at the age where she's like, "Yeah, I don't care. You can if you're gonna sell them or throw them away and whatever." So I was like, "Okay, I'll go through them." And I don't. A lot of people have sentimental attachment to their toys. I definitely don't. I mean, yeah, these bring nostalgia when I look at them, but after that, I'm fine. I can go, I can sell them. I don't care. Um, One toy in here I already sold and listed, and so I don't actually have it anymore, so I can't show it off. It was if I can, I'm not very good with editing, but if I can figure it out, I will put a picture of it like in the middle of the video somewhere right around here. But it was a little Deputy Fizz toy or something from the show Brave Star. It's actually was an older toy because most of my toys are from the '90s. That one was an older toy that I think my grandma might have gave me or something. So and there are a couple '80s toys in here, but most of them are going to be '90s, 2000s, toys that are not as worth as much. But there are a couple '80s toys, especially this like little wrestler guy. Because when I was a little kid, my grandma had this on my mom's side. She had this big bucket of just toys that she had accumulated from whatever, and she would leave it in the she had an outdoor kitchen where a lot of grandkids would always hang out and play. So if like Easter and holidays and stuff, we would go over, and all the kids would go through the bucket and play with the toys. And I remember they had quite a few of these wrestler toys, these big '80s hard plastic toys. And like I remember there was a big one. It's gonna sound funny, but this is this big black guy. I don't know what his name was, but they had that one. They had this one. Um, Also another big guy was bald headed. I don't really know much about wrestlers. I just know there were all these '80s wrestlers. I paid this guy. I asked my girlfriend's brother because he's a real big wrestler. No, he said the guy's name was Beavis Beefcake or something like that. I don't know. I might butcher the name. Anyway, that's kind of a cool one. I don't. It was super dirty, like super dirty when I got it. I cleaned it off a little bit. It's not perfect. You can still see some of the dots and dirt stains or whatever, but it was a lot more than that before. I don't know. I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if that can be cleaned any better. I don't know what you would use in terms of cleaning supplies for that. I just put it in soap and water overnight and then kind of washed it off. It did take a lot of it off, but yeah. I might have to list that with other stuff, or maybe if it's, I don't know, those '80s wrestler toys, they might be worth a little bit. I don't know, but in that condition, probably not a lot. Then we have this. I just kind of put all these are random like parts and accessories that I just threw together in a bag because they don't really have any value by themselves. But if you throw them together, if you throw enough accessories together, you can get something for them because there's a lot of people that do custom toys, like they make their own toys of characters that don't have toys. So they'll take the head of one toy and the arm of another toy, and they'll paint the colors, and some of them are very creative and can do a lot of work with them. So that's what this is. It's basically just a bunch of broken toys that I threw together in a bag with some random guns and different like machine accessories, like the little robots or things that come with certain toys. Like this is like a little chair thing that toy was with. There's like a little piece of the alien toy. There's a piece of there's the red tornado. He's got his arms there and stuff. There's like a Power Ranger with one arm. It's just stuff like that. Nothing super special, but I might be able to get at least, I don't know, maybe 5. I'll probably get I can maybe get maybe $10 for that, maybe, possibly. Then we got Sabretooth toy. This is just Sabretooth from the '90s cartoon. I'm going to sit down because I'm actually standing and it's kind of, yeah. Plus, I hurt my back the other day, so I'm not fully recovered from that. So it's kind of painful to stand for too long. This is another Sabretooth. This is from the X-Men movie, the first X-Men movie back in 2000 or 1999. What year did that movie come out? I think that movie came out in the year 2000, right? I always kind of like that version of Sabretooth, honestly. Like, he's just cool looking. He doesn't really talk much in the movie, and I think the actor playing him was it Triple H? I thought it was a wrestler. I don't know. And we got this toy from Small Soldiers. I forget this character's name. He's one of the Gorgonites. It's kind of like the crazy one. This is a really cool toy. I like the quality on it. It's very a lot of detail on this thing. And it's quite large and it's quite sturdy and well made. You know, like it just seems very solid. It doesn't seem like a cheap toy. I guess I don't know. Let's see. Then we got this. I don't really know what this is. I vaguely remember the cartoon this is from, but not really. He's got a flaming basketball, so I'm assuming some kind of weird sports cartoon. Yeah, this looks like a McDonald's toy. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it probably is, though. Oh, it's Burger King. It actually says Burger King right there. It's not gonna, my camera's not going to zoom in enough for that, but we got this thing. This thing didn't really clean off that well. I tried, but there's still some dust or dirt stains and stuff. Yeah, you wouldn't even think that I put this in water and soap and washed it off, but yeah, I did. This is a bat wing, or it's like a glider thing that that came with a Batman toy. You would put him on, you put him right here, and then he would fly around in it. So that's kind of cool. I'm probably just gonna lock that up with some other Batman toys that I have from a separate lot of toys. Then we have this Predator toy. I actually liked some of these Predator action figures. I thought they were kind of cool. This one especially because he has all this xenomorph stuff on him, like because in the lore, the Predators hunt xenomorphs and they kill them, and they use their parts as trophies and weapons. So he's got like the tail wrapped around his arm, kind of like a whip or something, and he's got the headpiece on his chest as a chest piece. Looks like he's got part of the, I don't know what part of the alien that would be, but he's got part of him as like a shoulder pad, and then a part is his boots. It's just a cool figure, and then his face is completely open, which is something you don't see a whole lot of on the old Predator toys. They usually have the mask on. This is another older one. I think I actually remember buying this. I think I got this in a garage sale when I was a kid. Like I was going to not a garage sale, but I was going to a flea market, like an indoor flea market, and they had this, and I asked my mom for it or something. So, sorry guys. So this is a Juggernaut toy. Kind of looks like it's from might be from the 90s cartoon, but kind of looks a little older than that. I'm not really 100% sure. It's 1991, so yeah, it's probably from the cartoon. I didn't realize the cartoon was that early in the 90s. I kind of thought the cartoon was more like I thought the cartoon came out like in the mid to late 90s, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. So then we have this, I don't actually know what this toy is. If anybody recognizes this character, please let me know. I kind of want to say it's just a generic like a sci-fi robot thing or something, but it could be from an actual franchise or something. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I don't know. It has this little spot in the back where you can put, I'm sure like a gun or something that was supposed to sit on him or something. Another accessory in the front so you could put someone else, like maybe a chest piece item or something. Not really sure what's supposed to go in those slots, but they do have those. This is a really cool one. I used to have a couple of these figures from this movie. I think this is the only one I have left. It's from, I really don't remember what the movie's called. I want to say it's called Warriors of Virtue, maybe? It's this late 90s movie, kind of like a never-ending story kind of movie where this kid gets whisked away into this magical world where they have all these defenders. They're kind of like Power Ranger kind of people, I guess. Like they're different animal people that have fighting abilities and they use different weapons, and they all got like a different theme to them. Like there's a fire one, there's a wind one, there's the air one. This one is the earth one. He's like the earth guardian or whatever. He has can like make the earth come out and fight with geopowers, kind of stuff like that. I think he comes with this big. I think he originally came with a big staff. It's a cool toy. I like it. A lot of cool detail on this one. That's one of those movies that like no one ever remembers, but it's so weird. Like it's almost like really this movie came out and we just didn't know it. So this is Cutter from G.I. Joe. I do know that. I think he originally came with this vehicle, like a water vehicle kind of thing, like almost like a boat thing. But yeah, he's basically he's one of the G.I. Joes. He's kind of like a shipwreck. He's a naval character. He's one of the G.I. Joe characters that's always associated with driving vehicles. There's quite a few characters like that in the G.I. Joe universe that they specialize in being these vehicle drivers. Like you had Ace, who was the airplane pilot or the jet pilot. You had Wild Bill, he's the helicopter pilot. You have Sandy, who's kind of like the desert specialist that usually he's on like a dune buggy kind of thing or something. You have Snow Job, who's always kind of portrayed as being he's the Arctic guy who's always on what do you call the thing? A snow vehicle, like a snow freaking dune buggy. I don't know what they call those things. Yeah, so there's always there's a lot of GI Joes like that. They're just always associated with vehicles. Then you have this Han Solo toy, nothing special. I'm probably gonna throw a lot of these small GI Joe, size figures into a lot together because they're really small. They won't weigh that much, and I'm sure they're desirable for somebody. Let's see, there's another GI Joe, and I'm starting to run out of time, so let me stop there. Okay. All right, sorry guys. So my phone was running out of storage, so I had to pause that video or cut that video and then delete some apps and stuff, some pictures, and we're doing the new video. So this guy is, I don't think he's a Disney character. I think he's from The Road to El Dorado, that kind of like early 2000s animated movie that looks like it probably would be a Disney movie, but it's not. Yeah, I think he's like the bad guy in that movie or something. I don't remember. It's a Burger King toy. It's from. It doesn't say what. No, it doesn't say where it's from. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, nothing special. I'll probably just throw that on a lot with some other small figures. Another small random figure. I want to say this is a GI Joe, like a character, but I don't know that for sure. It just kind of looks like a generic soldier guy. He might be a Cobra character. He looks kind of like, if he is from G.I. Joe, he looks like he'd be a Cobra character. Though it is made in China. And I really don't know if G.I. Joe toys are made in China. Because I mean, they probably are, knowing the way the world is. But you think they wouldn't be, because it's G.I. Joe. You think they'd want to keep that kind of like, I don't know, just bambling. This is just a random generic ninja toy. Kind of cool. It's very stiff. It doesn't move. Which kind of, to me, kind of loses the purpose of an action figure when it doesn't move around. It doesn't have any kind of like action to its movements. This is another. This is definitely a GI Joe character, if I remember right. I mean, he literally has Cobra written on his legs, on his pants leg. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you advertise that I work for an international terrorist organization on your clothes? Another GI Joe character. This is Wild Bill. I was talking about him earlier. He's kind of like G.I. Joe's helicopter pilot or whatever. That's kind of cool. We'll probably throw that in a lot with the rest of the little figures. Little small guys like that. This is another Burger King toy. Yeah, you can definitely tell I seem to favor Burger King over McDonald's, that's for sure. This one is from 1998. I don't remember what the show is, though. Like, it's from a cartoon. And I'm pretty sure it was something to do with Bill Cosby, maybe? Like, it was a show that Bill Cosby, like, promoted or backed or something, or he was a voice or something. I don't remember. I just seem to remember that for some reason he was part of that. He was connected to that show for some reason. This is another older toy. I say it's older. I want to say it's like late 80s. It could be 90s. I don't know. This is from, I think it's the Cowboys of Mimousa or something like that, which is kind of like a 80s, which was an 80s cartoon about like actual cowboys that were cows and bulls and stuff. Kind of silly. I'm trying to see the date on this. It has a date on the back, but I really can't read it, make it out. It looks like it just says Hasbro, made in China, and yeah, I can't make out any kind of year on there. So, and then we have this Spider-Man toy. This actually is a lot newer than it looks. This looks like it'd probably be an 80s toy, but it's actually from like the late 90s. And I want to say it's a McDonald's toy. It just says Marvel Entertainment Group, 1996. So probably not a McDonald's toy. And that's all we got for this video. It's kind of cool. I mean, like, some of these bring some serious nostalgia. Probably what I'll end up doing is, I did list a couple of these last night. I think I listed the two Sabretooth toys, I think, for like $10 plus shipping, because it seemed like the one Sabretooth toy was going for about $7 to $8 pretty consistently. Like the newer one from the movie, it looked like that one without the box was going for about $6 to $7 pretty consistently with free shipping. The other one didn't seem like it was going for much. Like, there's a few listings for like there was a few completed listings for like $2 or $3 maybe. So I decided I was going to throw them both together as kind of like a bundle thing, and then put them for 10. And and I don't like to do free shipping on anything really, because especially on eBay, because eBay I do tend to do sales every so often. So I feel like when I do a sale, if I have certain, and I have a lot of listings that stay below like the $10 or below mark. So I really don't like to have those, because if I do say, let's say I do a 20% sale like a couple months later or something, and I forget about, there'll be a lot of listings that I forget about, and they will become so cheap that it's just not worth it to send them out. But as long as I have the shipping, I don't care, because I mean, as long as I'm making the shipping costs, it's not usually a big deal. So I just like to have shipping attached to everything, no matter how cheap of the item it is. That way, I just feel like I'm always covered in case somebody's able to snatch it up for like a discount or something. So yeah, I put the Sabertooth toys for I think $10. I think I put this big guy from Toy Soldiers. I think I put him for like maybe $10. I think I put him for $10 with shipping too, because it looked like his toy. It looked like his is actually kind of worth a little bit, especially if it's like really good condition stuff. It seemed like it was going for a lot. Like, you know, I say a lot, like $15, $20. I think to me that seems like a lot for a loose toy, but let's see. And I think the one I sold, I think I sold it for, it was an older 80s toy, but it was kind of banged up, and it didn't have any of the original accessories that come with it. It was from that show Brave Star. I think I sold that for $12 plus shipping, which was still pretty good. I mean, I didn't pay anything for any of these. I mean, these were all given to me. I mean, they're mine originally, but yeah, you know. So, alright guys. So, thank you guys for watching. For the question I want to give you guys for this video is basically, what toys from your childhood are, like, what toys, like, bring you nostalgia when you see them? Like, whenever you see them in flea markets or whenever you're buying, sourcing, what toys really bring you, like, nostalgia that you like to pick up, either for yourself or to resell, but just because you like reselling them because they have an attachment to you? Like, so let me know. For me, like I said, there's nothing that I would pick up that I'd want to keep. I feel like, especially toy-wise, there's nothing I'd really want to keep. But I always like superhero stuff. Like, I love picking up old superhero toys because it's something I enjoy. I like comic books, so I find them fun to list. I find them fun to look at. G.I. Joe stuff is always kind of fun for me. I did watch a lot of the old G.I. Joe cartoon, like, reruns when I was a kid. So yeah, most comic book stuff, G.I. Joe stuff, those are always fun to me. Just let me know in the comment, guys. Thank you guys for watching.